Dante Greco.
Dante is a really smart guy.
Ladies love Dante.
Because I want it there. Look at that face.
What's your name, Casey?
Dante Greco.
Dante was me, yours truly.
I'm gonna come.
Did I accidentally mute this mic? Has it been muted the whole time? Oh my God. All right, let me start again. Son of a bitch. How embarrassing. Welcome back to the Dante Greco Show. I don't know how much of that was muted. They have made an arrest in the Idaho college murders. God, I had it on mute. I don't know why I had it on mute. I missed the whole intro of my show. You probably didn't hear at all. This is so stupid. Okay, welcome back to the Dante Greco Show. Hopefully no one's really tuned in yet except you. Thank you for letting me know that my sound was off. An arrest has been made. I was very excited when I got the alert. We've all been watching this case very closely in the University of Idaho quadruple homicide. And I got the alert this morning that they've caught the guy, allegedly, but with as meticulous as law enforcement has been, I think that it's him. The man is named Brian Christopher Koberger. He's a Washington State University criminology PhD student. And people online are saying that he looks like Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Very little does he look like him. And Glenn Howerton's a nice guy. I've interviewed him a few times. He's always really cool. So let's not drag his name through the mud here. This guy, and you could see he's got those cold, dead eyes. He's a criminology PhD student. Apparently, he's been on Reddit before asking for information from, like putting out surveys for his PhD thesis, trying to like ask criminals what their thought process is before committing a crime, how they select their victims, et cetera, et cetera. And I think he just decided to carry out a crime to put his theories into practice. I think that's obviously what's going on here. Now we'll see, the prosecution will have to prove all that, but he was caught 3 a.m. this morning in Pennsylvania, in Scranton, in the Poconos Mountains. Apparently he asked, was anyone else arrested? So I wonder what that means. Does that mean he thinks they had other suspects, or did he have an accomplice? The white Elantra, the Hyundai Elantra that the cops were looking for, was towed away from the home where he was staying in Pennsylvania. He was going to school in Pullman, Washington, which is about 15 minutes from where the murders occurred. So he was alone. He was probably watching them. We're yet to find out if he was actually an incel. A lot of police psychologists were speculating that this guy was an incel with some kind of thing against women. So we're going to find all that out, I'm sure. There's a big press conference coming up at 1 p.m. Pacific time with the cops. They're going to update us on all the details, but let's just dive right into it. SWAT team swooped in 3 a.m. Brian Christopher Koberger, 28, graduate PhD student. He looks like a real cold, calculating piece of shit. Nobody expected him. And I got to say, no offense to anybody in the true crime community, I was paying attention to this all too. I was reading all the theories. It was all very interesting, but everyone got this wrong. As usual. You got to say as usual. This is like when Reddit thought they had solved the Boston bombing, and then it was Dzhokhar Tsarnaev and his brother. But people were accusing the guy in the white hoodie. They were accusing the boyfriend. They were accusing the friends. They were accusing the roommates who were asleep downstairs. They're accusing the dog. Everyone's getting accused. I'm not going to name any of those people and drag them through the mud and get me sued. But we got it wrong. But that's okay. I give a lot of credit to the cops because they've been dealing with everybody saying they're incompetent. The case has gone cold. They don't know what they're doing. They're not releasing enough information. They just kind of put their head down, ignored all that, which is tough. As a human being, when people are shit talking you, it's hard to keep your composure. And so they did, and they just followed their leads. They sifted through the evidence, and they got the guy in 6 weeks, which seems like a long time, but also there's other murders that have been unsolved for, longer. There's been, it's just like they really focused in on this guy. They must have realized how serious this was. He's a criminology student. So I see that you're saying, yeah, he probably had all the confidence he could get away with it. How embarrassing for his ego. Definitely. This guy definitely planned. I mean, this is speculation, but for me, I say definitely planned this out. He probably studied how to get away with it. He thought for sure he was going to get away with it. He was already on Reddit before this, seeking help for his thesis. So I bet he was on Reddit and 4chan, everything else, probably in the communities. I don't know if he was commenting, but I bet he was reading this stuff. If he's once a Redditor, always a Redditor. Let's see. White Hyundai Elantra was towed outside the home. Yeah, he conducted a study of criminals' decision-making and posted this chilling research project to Reddit seeking help from ex-cons. That's the problem. Look at him. He looks like a guy that would do this. Like, he's not what I expected. But now that I see him, he looks like a guy like, I was just conducting an experiment. It was for my research. I murdered them for my research, which actually, to me, makes this worse. all the other theories that it was from a frat party fight or is the boyfriend or whoever, it's like those are all it's just they make more sense. This is more infuriating in a way because it's just some academic asshole who decided that he was going to carry out, put his theories into play and brutally murder 4 people while they slept. That's what's more, it's more infuriating to me that this is what happened. And that he looks like this. Smug. I'm doing my research. Okay, let's keep reading about how they caught him. They're now searching his apartment in Washington. Yeah, like I said, there's going to be a press conference at 1 p.m. They'll give us more details. They got the suicide vest on him, but I think that's normal. They always put a suicide vest on people when it's a high-profile crime like this. But he seems like happy. That's like a Brian Koberger smile right there. You know, now he gets to spend the rest of his life inside the penitentiary conducting more research on what it's like to be a criminal after you've been caught. He's one of those guys who's so smart, he's stupid. Dumb fuck. All right. So he'd been hiding out about 2,400 miles away. He was going to school 15 minutes away from where this happened. He's been hiding out 2,400 miles away in Pennsylvania. News Nation reported that Koberger had a quiet blank stare when arrested by local cops and the FBI on Friday morning. He's a PhD college student at Washington State University. He graduated from DeSales University in Pennsylvania in May 2022 with a Master of Arts in Criminal Justice. It's just disgusting. We know exactly what happened here. You know. He had a white Hyundai Elantra. No, I saw somebody on Reddit saying that they had just seen him before a running meetup, which, by the way, I guess he's a runner, too. I was one of those. I see someone saying I was one of those that thought the murderer got away with it. I'm so grateful that police detectives were able to prove me wrong. Yeah. I mean, look, the Delphi case with the 2 girls who were murdered, and it took 5 years to bust the guy. And now you find out that 2 girls that were murdered by the train tracks. And then you find out that cops had interviewed that guy who was eventually arrested, and witnesses had seen him leaving the crime scene that day with blood and mud on him, and it took him 5 years. You see that and you think, okay, well, what the hell's going on here in Idaho? But the fact that they busted this guy now, who probably put a lot more thought into this, clearly put a lot more thought into this crime, is great. We got to give a round of applause to the cops. Yeah, somebody on Reddit, now this is unconfirmed, of course, said like, oh my God, I just saw Brian. Last time I saw Brian Koberger, the murderer, was November 11th, the day before the murders. He didn't show up to our running meeting. So I guess he's a runner. And he said he'd be gone for a few weeks. Who knows if that's true, but we'll see. I mean, somebody had to know the guy. I can't believe he's living 15 minutes away the whole time. He's got a white Hyundai Elantra. Nobody, I mean, maybe, you know what? I don't want to get ahead of myself. Maybe that's where the tip came in. Maybe somebody said Brian Koberger, the weirdo criminology student, has a white Elantra, and that's what helped the cops crack the case. But until we know that, I'm going to speculate. Nobody turned this guy in. So the real question is, does he have an accomplice? Because he was asking if someone else was arrested. Fellow student, maybe. Let me refresh this page. What do you guys think? Feel free to chat. Feel free to join the chat. Tell me what you think. I'll put your comments up on the page if you want. If you don't, happy not to. But let's see. See what the commenters on Reddit are saying. All you idiots saying the police weren't doing their job wanted immediate satisfaction. Good thing the dumb father hired a private attorney and wasted his money calling the police cowards. Yeah, and people were getting mad at the father of Kaylee Gonsalves because he was being very critical to the cops. He was giving a lot of interviews to the media, but you can't get mad at the guy. I mean, his daughter was brutally murdered, and he was told that she had some of the worst wounds. So, he's just trying to do whatever he can to figure this out. Obviously, you want the answers. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I did not expect last night when I went to bed to wake up and hear this. Apparently, Ethan's brother, Ethan Chapin, one of the murder victims, his brother was on Reddit. He got a call at 10:56 last night, so they must have let him know we're about to nab the guy. It's just crazy. What's Reddit saying? I mean, not Reddit, Twitter. What are they saying on Twitter? Plastic sheet. Yeah, they were about to do a cleanup of the apartment. And I think they've put that on hold with the new developments. They're about to remove all the stuff. A cleaning company was coming in, and then they were supposedly going to give custody of the building back to the owners, which I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? You got to tear it down, right? Because otherwise it's just going to become a tourist attraction. And who's going to want to live in there? And then if anyone does want to live in there, you really got to question them. You really got to do a thorough background check on anyone that applies to live there anytime soon. Let's see. One of you are saying that question about an accomplice was a decoy. He has his master's. You're probably right. This is all part of his plan. Was there an accomplice? Ugh. I hate that guy. Yeah, there was a lot of doxing that went on, which is always wrong. You can't. People were just it's one. You know what though? I got to be honest. I can't be a hypocrite. I read all that stuff. I read all of it. I went looking for this information. I went to Twitter. I even went to 4chan, which I never go to 4chan because I don't know what the fuck's going on there. It's the weirdest place. I always feel like I'm leaving there with a computer virus. And but I even went there because I wanted the answer. I wanted somebody. You want to believe that there's somebody on there who has inside information, who's leaking it, who knows, First it was the people that were like, no, for sure there was a fight at the fraternity, and the fraternity brothers waited until they went to bed and then walked over there in the middle of the night and killed them. I'm shocked. Speaking about this guy having a plan and he has his master's, how stupid is he, though, to pull his car up to the house where it can be seen? I mean, everyone's got a Ring doorbell nowadays. There's cameras that like to pull the car up to the house. I thought for sure that the killer had walked through the woods. I mean, and he must have been casing the place beforehand. Who knows what kind of video footage they have from the weeks prior, but okay, Twitter, the problem with Twitter is it's not organized enough. Criminal justice. I don't know. It's just crazy. Here he is. Let's look at the photo gallery. These are the victims: Kaylee, Maddie, Anna, Ethan. Yeah. Today apparently is there's like a celebration of life going on for two of the victims in Idaho. So this is nice. This is some nice serendipity that the arrest happened today. I wonder if they found the murder weapon. Psychologist said that the guy would be proud of the murder weapon. He would want to keep it. He wouldn't dispose of it. So I wonder if they found that K-bar knife that they've been looking for. Yeah, authorities today are clearing the property. That they don't know how long it'll take, but it'll be returned to the property manager when complete. Yeah, I mean, I think you got to tear the place down and just rebuild. No one's going to want to live there, and it'll just become like a shrine. People will be coming to the town. The locals won't like that. Just bad energy. Bad energy. There's got to be, right? But at the same time, I got to be, in my personal experience, I moved into an apartment where the guy killed himself in the apartment beforehand, and I really never felt anything was off when I was living there. Like, he killed himself in the living room, and for the most part, I had a great time in the apartment. I didn't notice anything being off. So oh yeah, there was a surveillance video of them at the bar. I mean, it's just so crazy because all the things that would make sense, like the dots that you would connect and think, well, this is clearly a good motive for someone to kill. It was just a criminology student who wanted to test out his theories. Now, that's my supposition, that he wanted to test out his theories. That has not been stated. That's just what I think. But what else would it be? What else do we have? Anything else? Oh, yeah, Andrew Tate. I put up a video about that yesterday, so you could check that out if you want. But, yeah. Idaho murders. Let's do a little Googling. Let's go to CNN. See what they're talking about. His next court hearing and extradition is January 3rd. So he'll be in that Pennsylvania prison through New Year's. First-degree murder. "28 28-year-old psycho." I can't wait till we start hearing from some of the people that know him. I want to hear about what type of guy this was, because I got my ideas. What's the updates? Let's look at Brian Entin. He's the News Nation guy. He's the guy who went there. He's this reporter for News Nation who went to Moscow, Idaho when the murders happened, and he never left. He's been there the whole time, making stories out of everything. He's making stories about, like, the snow falling. So he's been there, but you know what? Paid off. Just from one reporter to another, it paid off. Gonsalves family tells me they feel incredible relief, and to think the arrest happened on the same day as Kaylee and Maddie's celebration of life service. So yeah, so there's Kaylee and Maddie. Terrible. They were killed in the same bed, apparently. That's how it happened. They were killed in the same bed. I wonder which one. I would think he had to go. They were up on the third floor, and then Ethan and Zana were on the second floor. So I would think he would go to the third floor first. No, wait. Because if you go to the third floor and the people on the second floor hear you, then you have to fight your way out. So you go to the second floor first, then I don't know. Who knows? It's just crazy. But it's great that this happened on the day of the celebration of life. I mean, that'll be a real celebration. Arrest has been made. Yeah, we didn't expect this. I can't wait. I guess we got to wait until the press conference. So maybe what I'll do is come back at some point this afternoon after the press conference and we get some more information to talk more about it. Because right now there's really not a whole lot of updates, understandably. Anyways, I will do that. I will be back later this afternoon, and we'll also cover some other news as well. This is probably the last show of the year for me. And then on Monday, I'll do another show next year. So, anyways, this is the Dante Greco Show signing off. Thank you for everybody who's joined and commented. It's great to see you all again, and I look forward to seeing you again this afternoon.
Have a good life. We will see you soon.
Much love.
Thank you.
Love.
All right, Dante.
So once again, thank you to my brother. Tell him your name again.
Dante Greco.
2 words. Made in America.
Dante, you're doing great.
Listen, I want you to leave my good friend Ringo alone.
Yeah.
Pretend you're a horse in a parade.
Have a good day.